Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel Autistic Multiple Life. This channel was created to erase stigma around autism and dissociative identity disorder and other conditions in dissociative spectrum. And today I want to speak about DissociaDID channel. Honestly, we don't want to make this video at first because we knew that DissociaDID is popular topic and many conflict around DissociaDID is popular, and people want to know what other systems thinks about DissociaDID, but we don't like to support any kind of hatred, any kind of bullying, because he was victim of bullying in internet or victim of cyberbullying ourselves, and it's really delicate for us, but we decided that I think we need to speak about it. Okay, I'm Ayman, and today together in Kakon with me Abu Hamza, I think. And it's really weird that Eric somewhere near the front, because Eric most of the time it's not near the front at all. He was Ayman's my co-host, I think 2 years ago, and year and a half he was my constant co-host, but after that because of some traumas and because of some problems he just stopped to be my co-host, but now he's somewhere near. Okay, what I want to speak about DissociaDID. We started to watch DissociaDID channel when we started to realize that we could be a system. It was after we read some articles in neurodiversity paradigm about dissociation, and it was after we read some scientific research about dissociation, and after we speak with our psychotherapist. And DissociaDID channel was our first channel that we was watching about dissociation, and partly it was inspired. This channel was inspired by DissociaDID channel, and we find many information in this channel really helpful. And after we watch, I think, most of the video in this channel, we find out that many other systems have problems with this channel, and with some questions we agree, with some we not agree at all. And I want to speak about several problems. I think maybe 5 the main problems that we have with DissociaDID. And at first we don't think that DissociaDID is faking. We want to speak about it. We strongly disagree with any people who say that some systems is faking, because dissociative identity disorder is a really stigmatized condition, and we face it of gaslighting of our life with our system and many other systems. And I speak about it in another video. I speak about switching on cameras video and how people made it, and why we don't think that it's some proof that it's fake if someone made many switching on camera videos. Okay, we prefer to believe. We don't want to support gaslighting culture. It's the first. But the first problem that we have with DissociaDID is that we don't believe in pathological paradigm, so we don't believe that dissociative identity disorder or OSDD is real disorder, because disorder is something that needs to be fixed. So we don't want to be singular. We just need more acceptance. We just need more understanding from culture. We need more representation. We need more books, more articles about how to communicate with your alters, what to do if you started to communicate, and after that, I don't know, you started to face it with more triggers, it has become difficult. We need more information about system communication. We need we need that other people have more information about what dissociation is really like, how to communicate with multiple systems that teach us in school what news and information. Of course we need good psychotherapy, because psychotherapy created by neurotypical people for neurotypical people is not working for people with dissociation condition, not working for multiple systems. But our system don't think that we need to be fixed, don't think that we need fusion, don't think that we need to be kind of one person. We are multiple, and it's completely okay for us to have several guys in one body. We don't need to be fixed, we don't need to be normal, and we don't think that it's tragedy. It's really a problem that we became multiple because of our trauma, but it's not a problem that we are who we are. Okay? So we don't agree when DissociaDID speaking about dissociation like it's some kind of tragedy, some kind of problem itself. Not misunderstanding in society, but it's problem itself. Yeah, and it's the first problem that we have with dissociation. We believe that dissociative identity disorder is certainly a disability, is certainly something that sorry. Yeah, we believe that dissociative identity disorder is certainly a disability, is certainly that need to have more awareness, okay? But it's not a problem itself. It's like autism. I would give links about neurodiversity paradigm, and I would give links about dissociation and neurodiversity paradigm in link section. Yeah, second problem. DissociaDID is more channel creating for neurotypical singlet people, and it's something that was created to raise awareness about dissociative identity condition. Not something that created by dissociative people for dissociative people. And in the same time, many times Nin from DissociaDID speaks that they're working for their community, but most of the video, yeah, is just for neurotypical people. You don't think that it's something problematic to make video for neurotypical people. Many our videos it's first for neurotypical people too, and we understand that it's the biggest problem in our culture that people don't know many stuff about dissociation. It's the reason why so many people don't believe that dissociative identity disorder exists. It's the reason why it's so dangerous to say that someone faking. It's the reason why so many systems still undiagnosed it. It's the reason why we don't have inclusion. So yeah, it's really important to raise awareness, and I think more than awareness, acceptance toward dissociation. But I think that we just need more information about for people with dissociation, and if I was Nin, I would made it. Okay. And the third problem, I think, is just it's not the fault of DissociaDID. It's the fault of just our society. DissociaDID became kind of face for dissociative identity disorder, and it's always problematic when we have some person who became face of any condition, and especially if this person have kind of ableistic stereotypes, or I don't know, some racist stereotypes and other kind of stereotypes. It's always problematic. But even if this person is perfect, it could be problematic too. DissociaDID is just one system. They couldn't represent all conditions. They couldn't represent all systems, okay? And they are just one system. And it's a problem of the single story. When you have not good representation, is a problem you don't know if you would have the nicest and more perfect person like a face of any condition, it would be awful because it's just one person. And DissociaDID have the same the problem with DissociaDID, the same problem like a problem with temple grandin in autistic community. Temple grandin is kind of ableist, but because of temple grandin, many people, especially in country like Russia, where it's not so many information about autism, find out that they are autistic. And for example, because of temple grandin, my wife find out that she is autistic. And yeah, in this way, I'm really grateful for temple grandin. But Temple Grandin said some bullshit about non-speaking autistic people. Temple Grandin supports some deeply ableistic ideas. And this question, oh, you are autistic, so you are like Temple Grandin, or I hope you would hear about Temple Grandin. What do you think about Temple Grandin? The same with DissociaDID. Oh, you are system. What do you think about DissociaDID? No, we are not like all like DissociaDID, and we not have to know about DissociaDID. Yeah, the first problem with DissociaDID is not more like problem with DissociaDID, it's more like problem with the way they try to ignore problems that they really have. They have huge support, and they could make this channel their main work. And when you have this big so many supporters, you could be more careful, you need to be more careful. It's about the last video of DissociaDID. This video was about one of the last video of DissociaDID. This video was about Jade, and Jade used some stories, some tropes from anti-Semitic books about satanic ritual abuse. I am not specialist in this kind of conspiracy, and I'm not specialist in this kind of abuse. I know that that ritual abuse really exists, because you could face abuse in churches, you could face abuse in some kind of sects, and we face abuse in Christian Orthodox Church, and of course for example, for some kind of nasty videos of kind of pornography, some could imitate satanic rituals, sexual abuse, or of course if you knew that I don't know, pagan abuse, ritual abuse exists, Christian ritual abuse exists, Buddhist ritual abuse exists, Muslim ritual abuse exists, Orthodox Jewish ritual abuse exists. All kind of religion have their own kind of ritual abuse, and I think some small satanic groups really could have kind of satanic ritual abuse, but I don't know much about it. I don't think that it's systematic problems. I think it's problems just of small communities. It's not like they write in these big conspiracy books, not such a huge problem. But like I said, I used to believe people that they say that they face kind of abuse, some kind of abuse. I prefer to believe victims, okay? But yeah, using some kind of tropes from problematic books, you need to explain about it more, I think. You could use it, but you need to explain more. I believe that, yeah, your inner world could look like something from anti-Semitic book. It doesn't mean that you're anti-Semite. For example, I was raised in Ukraine, in Donetsk, and it's extremely anti-Semitic culture. Ukrainian culture extremely anti-Semitic, and like Russian culture, and our teachers try to justify Holocaust. And my grandpa called me some nasty words for Jewish. It's like N-words for black people in America. My Russian grandpa, because I'm partly Jewish, and in the same time I have introject of this grandpa in my system. This introject is my persecutor. Because from the one hand, it was really painful for me when I have strong Jewish identity as a teen, to hear all this nasty stuff about Jewish. I was really afraid that I would die in concentration camp when I became older, that Holocaust can happen again. It was really painful. And from the other hand, this grandpa was the only other autistic person in our family, and he was more like a friend for me than or any other relative. So it was painful when the only person who really understands your kind of communication is a bigot. But it's the reason why I have this kind of alter in my system. I have some places in my inner world that looks really scary for me. It's Donetsk. I really hate Donetsk, and when I see Donetsk in my dreams, when I wake up, I sometimes started crying or yelling. I hate Russia, but I have kind of St. Petersburg in my inner world. Also in my inner world I have kind of some Middle Eastern territories that not really nice in Sham, okay? It happened when I became Muslim in St. Petersburg. I was split because of islamophobia, and people say to me, go away to Syria, go away to your Islamic State, and sometimes it was like, you're all terrorists, you're not belong here. Even in community, when I made so many stuff for this community, for LGBT community, and it was very difficult, and it was constant everyday Islamophobia, and because of it, part of my inner world started to look like really Islamic State territory. It's not something that I'm proud of. It just happened. It's not my fault. It just happened because sometimes when I have these thoughts, maybe Islamic State is better than this Russia, and when people behave like I'm so human because I'm Muslim, when people say that it's okay when in China it's okay, genocide of Muslim, it's okay, I was thinking maybe Syria, maybe even Syria better, maybe even Islamic State better, and I was afraid of this thought. I tried to ignore it, I was split. And I have this part of kind of idealistic Islamic State in my head, like I have idealistic Donetsk, despite that I hate Donetsk, despite that I don't support Islamic State, okay? So yeah, DissociaDID really could have something from anti-Semitic book in their hand, in their inner world. But when you speak about such topic, you need to kind of explain it. And I don't support this kind of dealing with dealing with problems that DissociaDID have. I don't know much about this scandal about DissociaDID and Team Pinyatas, and Team Pinata is promoting and making child pornography and was casting some abusive behavior toward other system. I don't know about it. I don't speak about it, okay? I was interested in DissociaDID behavior like activist, not their personal life. But in the same time, when you face some kind of, it doesn't matter if people who say to you it's they're lying or they're not lying, but when you faced kind of this strong accusation, like in Jade's video about anti-Semitism, or in Tim Pinata situation or stuff like this, I think you need to speak about it. You need to speak about this problem. I understand that maybe Nin don't ever knew that Jade, for example, read this anti-Semitic book one day, and after that have kind of became kind of the inner world. Nin maybe don't need it, but if this channel is so huge, you need to have some kind of explain it what's going on. And I have most of the time I notice that you need to try to ignore conflicts. I don't think that ignoring conflicts, ignoring accusation is a good way for activists, because activists need to speak about problematic topics. Activists need to speak about bigotry. Activists need to speak about their own mistakes and recognize their own mistakes. Maybe it's lack of system communication in DissociaDID. Maybe just because DissociaDID don't look like the person who came from, who studied much about some, I don't know, disability rights movement or stuff like this. But it's something that I have in my personal experience. I see that it's really problematic when you try to be nice when something problematic happened, or you try to ignore some problems, or try to ignore your own mistake. yeah, so we have I think 5 problems with DissociaDID. I have 5 problems, our system have 5 problems with DissociaDID. It first is just many pathological stuff. The second is this channel was created not for dissociated people with dissociation, not for by multiple people, for multiple people. Just mostly it's just for singlets, stereotypical. And third, this channel is in this channel became kind of the main narrative about dissociation, and it's always problem, but it's not more problem of dissociated, it's more problem of that other system is not so visible. It's more problem for our society. And for the dissociated don't make some kind of disclaimer, some kind of trigger warning when they need it. And fifth problem that they ignore some kind of problematic situation. But we don't support really this kind of bullying against the society. We don't think that they're faking. We don't think that they deserve this kind of hatred. With that thinking, they activists, the YouTubers who made some great stuff, but mess up in many ways, okay? Like just many other first activists in many movements. Anyways, thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to make it more visible. And see you next time. Bye.